Now let's talk about body shape. And I know that I am treading on sacred ground because this is usually the area that we as women really struggle with because we have a whole internal dialogue around our bodies, what we can and cannot wear for all the reasons that we have. Plus, when we start going through body changes, and that can mean we've just had a baby, or we're going through menopause, or we're going through some health crisis, or we're going through something that is changing our bodies, can even be age, we tend to get very panicky around it and get very frustrated with trying to find clothes that work for us. Now, while I understand that we also have different concerns and different needs, and we are also lots of different body shapes, and I'm not talking about an apple, a pear, or a carrot, or whatever the case is, because I don't think we're vegetables or fruit. I have found that there are some very simple principles that help so many different women, and this is over my 20 years of styling women. So I'm going to share with you some very basic principles. You will need to translate this for your own body shape as well as for your own comfort level, but hopefully this will give you something to at least think about. The first most important thing is that baggy clothing with no shape doesn't do you any favors. Okay, so this is not really a fair representation because this, even though this is fairly loose, it still has got shape the way that it's cut. But for the most part, most times, the things that you wear are so big and so baggy and often trying to cover up the parts that you don't like that you end up making your whole body look bigger. If this was a straight block like this, there we go. Can you see what I mean? This is not helpful. So what is very helpful is having things that have got some shape to them, that follow the lines of your body. And as you see, that doesn't necessarily have to mean it's super tight, but look at this, and this brings me to the second one. The second tip, which is, you know I was going to say it. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm going to say it. Defining your waist. And that is really the most important thing that a woman can do for her body. Now, it may look different for different women. It may be not necessarily belting. It may be finding something with more of a cinched waist, like a jacket, like a magic top. But the most important thing is you want to create some definition. Look at how this gets transformed. Take some pieces there. Add a belt. Now, the kind of belt that you wear, maybe you need a narrower belt because you are very short-waisted. Whatever it is, it's absolutely fine, but defining your waist can make such a difference. Why? Why does define your waist? Why do I talk about it so many times? Well, let me explain. It does two different things. First of all, it creates a sense of balance. It actually makes my shoulders and my hips look like they're in alignment. Can you see that? If it is not belted, and specifically for me, this is the case, right? If I'm wearing this loosely, you still can see that there is some shape, but when I take it here, it just takes it to a whole nother level. The print of the fabric also is disguising the tummy, so I hear a lot of women say to me, Tracy, when I put on a belt, it just makes my tummy pooch out. But if you have got printed fabric, it's less likely that it's going to happen. You also need to make sure to belt it high up into the waist. And girlfriend, also, if this is a kind of way too wide for you, you can do a narrower belt and that will work well. The other very important thing that defining your waist does is that it makes your legs appear longer. Because what happens is that it makes it look like your legs are starting from here as opposed to somewhere down. Let me show you again. If I take this out, and again, this is also a really good, shapely, kind of looser dress. So it's fine to wear it this way, but look at how much longer my legs look if it starts here. Now see the difference. So now my legs look like they actually start up from here. And when we make our legs look longer, it makes us look taller, it makes us look slimmer, and then you're not noticing the tummy. So this is the thing as well, girlfriends, is that so many times we tend to dress to cover up the parts of ourselves that we don't like. In reality, we end up making ourselves look more shapeless and sometimes even bigger than we really are. This is a true story. I've had so many cases where I meet somebody, they come to work with me, and I look at them, and based on what they're wearing, I think that they're a bigger size than they really are. Once we start trying on other clothes, we actually find that they're much smaller than their clothes are making them look. It's just that the clothes are creating such a look that it doesn't work for their body shape and it makes them look bigger. Clothing can do that, bigger or smaller. It's all an illusion. For the next tip on how to dress for your body shape, we're going to think upside down triangle versus rectangle. So let me explain what I mean, because actually it's very helpful to understand. If you are looking at a rectangle, if your garment, your dress, or whatever it is that you're wearing is very straight and block-like, rectangle-like, it's going to make your hips, your tummy, all the areas that you're not so crazy about, which is generally in this area, right? It's going to make it look wider. However, if we think in upside down triangles, it means that the triangle part is at the bottom, the width is at the bottom, okay? There is greater width at the bottom, and then it narrows up top. Makes it look like this is much narrower in comparison to this. Let me show you again, that versus that. Now, it doesn't have to be super dramatic. You don't have to wear something with huge fullness. You can see that this fabric really just moves with the body. It moves with the curves. But the triangle creates that illusion that it's drawing the eye down the body. That's what we want to create. We want to make this look narrower in comparison to this. Print rather than plain can be a girl's best friend. I know that sounds completely crazy compared to most of the advice that you've actually heard. But print is only ever going to make you look bigger if you're wearing it in something that is completely shapeless and block-like, rectangle-like. That can make you look bigger. However, the triangle shape, A, works, plus print that is disguising a multitude of things. If I was wearing this in a plain fabric, even with the right underwear underneath it, oh my goodness, it will show every single line. Whereas here, you can't see any of that, and I don't have to wear any special underwear for this. Also, what is very helpful is when the print itself actually draws the eye down the body. That creates a very elongated line, and it makes you look taller and slimmer instantly. Again, a huge benefit. So now we've spoken about creating your own personal style. We've looked at your lifestyle. I've shown you some examples of how you can mix and match your clothes to suit your lifestyle. And we've spoken a little bit about body shape. Now, if any of this is completely overwhelming you and you feel, oh my goodness, I don't know where to even begin, then feel free to reach out, because I do consult with women both online and in person. So I will put the details in the description below. Feel free to look at the details. Feel free to reach out to discuss it further. I'll see you soon. Oh, and if you have it all figured out, now you can go declutter your closet.